Patriot Prime Reviews is a channel for adult collectors and may not be suitable for children under 13 years of age. Viewer discretion is advised.
This video is sponsored by ToyHacks.com. They're your one-stop shop for reproduction decals for your vintage G1 Transformers and upgrade decals for your modern bots. Weaponry for your figures from the Toy Hacks Armory, and great looking backdrops for your display from Toy Stages. So check out ToyHacks.com and make your collection stand out from the rest. And tell them Patriot Prime sent you. The featured bot in this video is the brand new Transformers Legacy Wild Rider. And Wild Rider arrived on my porch today thanks to Toy Arena, a site I have never bought from before, but man, they impressed me. He arrived quickly and in great shape, so Toy Arena, thank you so much. If you guys want to check Toy Arena out, I'm going to put a link to them in the description of this video. So now let's take a look at Wild Rider's packaging. We've got Wild Rider himself in robot mode behind the open window. Some great looking artwork of Wild Rider in vehicle mode. Side of the box features some artwork of him in robot mode, a full body shot and a up close shot right there. Back of the packaging features Wild Rider in robot mode and vehicle mode. And of course, there's the QR code that you can scan for his bio. So there's that for you. This side of the box shows the artwork that we've been seeing since Wave 1. So now, without further ado, let's get Wild Rider opened up out of this packaging and check him out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and welcome to Patriot Prime Reviews. Now, once you get Wild Rider all opened up and out of the packaging, you'll see he does come with a sheet of instructions that, as usual, is very well illustrated and easy to follow. He also comes with two pistols here, and both of these are exactly the same. You've got a peg on one side and a port on the other, so you can combine these together if you so choose to make a double barrel blaster. Now, at first, when I saw these online, I was thinking, man, they're just repainting Dragstrip's weapon, but I was wrong. These are a completely different mold. And then, of course, we've got Wild Rider himself. Now, at first glance, Wild Rider looks dead on to his cartoon counterpart, except for one glaring problem: this gigantic, ugly-ass backpack. This thing looks horrible. I mean, from the front, he looks like he has a big T above his head. The back, you've got the windshield sticking straight out. You've got the sides of the hood all flayed out there, and I don't like that. I don't know what they was thinking, but that looks horrible. I know the original G1 figure had a backpack, but man, nothing like that mess right there. Now, what I like to do is you can go ahead and collapse the sides in on each other, just like so. Get those to tab in. One side just does not like to tab in near as good as the other, and then the other pops off when you get it together. So there, now you got the sides clipped. Now bring that down on the windshield, which still sticks out, but to me, I think that looks a lot better. So just, that's my opinion. So taking a closer look at the figure, I love the head sculpt on this guy. Very cartoon accurate. Got the red face, great paint job there on the eyes, and he even has his Frankenstein bolts. I know Frankenstein's bolts were on his neck, but you know what I'm talking about right there. That was a very Wild Rider look that the G1 toy did not have. He just had a square head. That was added for the animation, and I think it looks really good. The rest of the figure, as far as paint applications are concerned, he's really plain. He's just got silver there on the chest with some blue squares and some red paint applications on the arms. But as I said earlier, that's very faithful to how he looked in the Generation 1 cartoon. Lots of nice sculpted details all the way around the figure. Not a big fan of the big screw holes right there in his waist, but hey, what are you gonna do? Now moving on to articulation. Wild Rider's head is not on a ball joint, it's just probably I think it's a mushroom peg, so he can only do a complete 360, but he can look up and down due to this transformation section right here, but that looks kind of bad if you do that. Arms can do a complete 360, but you're going to have to work them around the gigantic backpack. There is a rotation there at the shoulder, there is a bicep bend, and no wrist articulation. There is waist articulation. Legs can go out, they can go in, they can go up, they can go back, and there is a decent enough knee bend, fairly deep knee bend right there on a soft ratchet, so that's pretty cool. Moving on down to the feet, there are ankle tilts, and that's pretty much it for the articulation. So let's go ahead and get Wild Rider armed up with his weapons. So you can put them in both hands, like so. So he can dual wield, except when you pull one out. He can dual wield, which looks pretty badass. And you can see right there, big old gap, but that's to fold the fists in. And like I said, you can combine these together to form a double barrel blaster. Peg that into his hand. And there you go. I don't like the looks of that. I like it when it's more centered. That just looks like he's holding two guns. So now, get that backpack back down. Let's go ahead and get Wild Rider transformed into his vehicle mode. And how you do this, go ahead and bring the chest down. The head and chest will come down together. Fold the head back and then close that back up. Go ahead and fold the fists in. They fill up that big gap I showed you earlier. Bring the arms down, and now the easiest way to do this hood I've discovered, because you got these two sections right here that have to fit into these little slots right there. And as you can see, that's all translucent plastic. Go ahead and bring the hood down this way. Actually, lay that out. Bring the hood down this way. Close these sections back after you get the hood past the little translucent section, and then just bring this up and it'll slot right in to those slots right there. If you try it the other way, you feel like you're forcing the tabs through those little slots right there. I don't like that, especially with it being translucent plastic. You don't want to break anything. I'm just noticing all the details right there. Pretty cool. Now you're going to take the windshield and just peg that in to that little slot right there. Snap that into place. So now you have the front end of the vehicle done. Go ahead and get the arms tabbed together like so. Now for the waist, go ahead and rotate. Flip these sections here up, the front of the legs, the shins. Fold those up, and like pretty much every transforming car robot ever, just fold the legs up and around the upper thighs. Sometimes easier said than done. This guy has an easy transformation, but it's just hard to get around everything. So after you get it like so, peg that together, bring this all down. We'll peg it into place there at the top. Bring these around, snap those into place, make sure everything's tabbed in, and there you have Wild Rider in his vehicle mode. And I love this vehicle mode. This is so 80s and so badass looking. Even the windows look great. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of translucent plastic, but I think they look really good on Wild Rider. You don't see a lot of robot junk there on the inside. Maybe a couple hinges right there, but it doesn't look too bad. And he even has his red stripe along the bottom, just like the G1 animation. The original Wild Rider, get him transformed real quick. Super fast transformation. He doesn't have the red stripe, so I do like how they went with the cartoon. Now, the front of the vehicle looks great and exactly like the cartoon, but I kind of wish it had the toy design. See the silver mesh there on the front, or I don't know what you call that, but I like the toy design, especially with the off-center Decepticon insignia. So I'm sure Toy Hacks will probably do something for that later on. Wheels look great, at least on the front. Not a big fan of the clip-on wheels that they love to give us, because that wheel and rim look fantastic. This one, not so much. But lots of great details on the vehicle mode. I think this is really, really cool looking. This is probably one of my favorite vehicle modes that's come out for a while, at least as far as cars are concerned. And he rolls really, really good. So that's always a plus. Now he's got 2 ports here on the back, so you can peg the weapons in if you so choose. Guess it doesn't matter which one, since both guns are exactly the same. I wish one peg, one gun had one peg on the right, one had one on the left, but oh well. So there you got Wild Rider in his attack mode, and that's a nice throwback to the original G1 toy. They could have the attack mode as well, so I dig it. So there you go. There is Wild Rider in vehicle mode. Now, as far as him combining to Menasor, all you're going to do for that is you reach in, if I can get a fingernail, catch that windshield, pull that out, flip this section back, and there is Wild Rider's leg mode. I'm not going to attach that to Menasor right now because we're going to save Menasor for his own review when I get all of the Stunticons in. So go ahead and pop that back into place, and there you go. Love this car. And now for some quick size comparisons. Here is Transformers Legacy Wild Rider with Generation 1 Megatron, Generation 1 Wild Rider, Legacy Motormaster, and Legacy Dragstrip. Transformers Legacy Dragstrip definitely has his flaws, especially that ginormous backpack. I know the design team at Hasbro could have come up with something a lot better than what they gave us. That thing is just a distraction to the rest of what is a fairly decent figure. I love how G1 cartoon accurate this figure is. Aside from the backpack, he's got a really simple transformation. Love the car mode. The car mode looks awesome, and I cannot wait to see how he's going to look with the rest of his Stunticon team. So there you go, guys. Transformers Legacy Wild Rider. So, does a Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Wild Rider belong in your collection? Well, if you're into the Legacy line for the Stunticons, absolutely. You are going to need this figure to complete your group and to complete Menasor. I mean, all in all, the figure is not bad, aside from that big old backpack. But as you saw in my video, you can tweak it to look a little bit better. I love how the robot mode is very faithful to the original G1 cartoon animation, and I adore his sports car mode. It is just so 80s and so badass. Plus, it's really cool that we're finally getting another Wild Rider figure. If you remember in Combiner Wars, we didn't get Wild Rider, we got Off-Road. And then later on, we got an exclusive repaint that looked like Wild Rider, but they called him Breakneck. I think Hasbro had lost the rights to Wild Rider, but I'm so glad they got those rights back because Wild Rider is a cool name and a pretty cool figure. Now, I want to give a big shout out to you guys who participated in my poll that determined that Wild Rider was the first of the Wave 2 Deluxe Carbots that I was going to review. And according to that poll, Elita 1 is going to be next. So what do you guys think of Legacy Wild Rider? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Also, if you're in any position to help out the channel, I have a super thanks button, and I also offer channel memberships. And I have to give a huge shout out to all my current channel members because it's support like yours that helps keep this channel going. Once again, guys, this is Patriot Prime, signing out. Hooah!